to another episode. I have not, and I'll tell you why, I've not been posting in the past like 3 or 4 months, even 5, I don't even know anymore. Well, it kind of gets boring when I'm talking football. I might do it in my B channel, I was thinking about that, but I had a lot of baseball stuff going on also. But now that we're kind of in the preseason territory, with no preseason, now that we're kind of in there, I'm going to give you guys some more videos leading up to opening week. I'm so excited. You don't know how excited I am. I'm a sports fanatic, and I love watching baseball kind of, but football hits different. Like, literally hits different. And I love football. And we're getting it back September 10th. Chiefs versus Texans. But today I'm going to be dropping a video about some Browns news. This is going to be one of my longest videos ever on this app. I'm going to be giving you some Browns news and also the top 10 fantasy players to draft. And we're going to start off with the top 10 fantasy players to draft. Well, you have to really think of this way. There's not going to be a lot of quarterbacks on this list because, well, if you play fantasy, you know not to draft any quarterbacks. There's going to be a lot of running backs, wide receivers on here. Let's get it started. At number 10, I'm going to give you Lamar Jackson. Now, I didn't really say there's going to be a lot of quarterbacks on here, but if he could literally be a flex, he's literally a running back, but he can pass some. So it's a pretty good option to maybe pick him, and maybe in the second round if you're really not going to pick quarterbacks, or even maybe the first round if you really love picking quarterbacks. We'll go out there. Number 9. This is a tough one, but I think I'm going to have to go with 7. That's these 2. This is a really tough one, but I think I'm going to have to go with Nick Chubb. And I'm not being biased with the Browns fan. I'm just saying he can really kind of catch the ball a little bit. He's a big runner. He can give you a lot of rushing yards. Now, Nick Chubb's really good because of this. He about gets you 15 rushes, 100 yards, and he could add a few touchdowns in the mix. He's one of my favorite players, if not the favorite player in the league, because he's probably the only player in the league that doesn't really talk that much, and I love it because of him. So I really hope he does have another really good year and makes the Pro Bowl again. Heck, he can even win Offensive Player of the Year, and that's not out of the picture yet. Number 8 spot, we have Todd Gurley, and you're probably wondering why I'm putting Todd Gurley on this list. Now, here's why. Here's 2 reasons why I'm putting Todd Gurley. Matt Ryan is getting old, and we all know that. He has a target of Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley, and they might be able to do some good this year. But with addition of Todd Gurley, they're going to really give him some touches, and they're probably going to pass the ball to him a lot. If I had to say a stat line for Todd Gurley, it'd be 9 carries, like 60 yards, and a touchdown. And maybe even a wide receiver touchdown. That'll give you some good fantasy points if we're not playing PPR. And that's really good to me. So I'm putting Todd Gurley on this list, number 8, and it's really going to shock you. 7, our first wide receiver on this list is going to be Michael Thomas. And I personally do not like Michael Thomas one bit. I'm sorry for the people that do like Michael Thomas. I think he's a crybaby, but I do think he's a pretty good player to draft. I don't think he's number 1 wide receiver in the league. Without that, they'll see another 2 wide receivers. Even they'll see a number 1 wide receiver on this list. And Mike Thomas, if I had to describe him, he'd be crybaby, but also he's a pretty good player on the field. Like, you have to respect that, and I'll put him on this list. But if it was like 5, if he wasn't that good, it was like decent. If he was like pretty good, you're on this list. But you have to respect it. It's a top 3. At number 6, I'll be giving you Derrick Henry. And here's the reason why I'm putting Derrick Henry higher than this. Derrick Henry is a really good runner. One of probably the best in the league, made the Pro Bowl last year, and is really one of the best powerhouse running backs we've ever seen in the sport, maybe, from years to come. But one thing I'm not thinking about Derrick Henry that I think a lot of other running backs do to make him good is he really needs to do something start blocking more. Like George Kittle's a really good player because he blocks. A lot of people are really good players because they block. If you can't block, you're getting like minus a little bit down there. So that's why I'm not putting Derrick Henry really high on this list, but he's still a really good player. I respect. 5, Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes, I said there's not going to be a lot of quarterbacks on this list, and there's not. This is the last quarterback, but Patrick Mahomes. Okay, there's this guy on TikTok, you probably haven't seen him, but he said that Patrick Mahomes is not as good as Lamar Jackson, and he's compared to Johnny Manziel. Bro, are you literally high, my G? I'm just kidding, cut that out, cut that out. Are you literally, bro? Patrick Mahomes is probably going to be one of the greatest football players of all time if he's on this pace. Now, don't tell me that people say he's better than Tom Brady right now, Joe Montana right now, Steve Young right now, and all those really good quarterbacks. But he is way better than Lamar Jackson, and I've said it, he's way better than Lamar Jackson, and way better. I'm a Browns fan. Way better than Johnny Manziel. He only had like 1 year when they thought, oh, he could be decent backup quarterback in the NFL. A backup quarterback in the NFL. That's saying so. Number 4 on this list. Don't ask me how I put him on this list, but Tyreek Hill. This is a list where I just thought of in my head, but Tyreek Hill can be a really good player for the Chiefs, and he already is a pretty good player. But he needs to learn how to catch. I mean, he's the fastest player probably in this sport right now, if not, I mean, Nico Hardman's his teammate catching up to him maybe a little bit. But Tyreek Hill is literally the definition of speed. He's a mixture of kind of like Randy Moss and Nelson Aguilar. And that's not a really good mixture. But if he gets a mixture of Randy Moss and Terrell Owens, see me later, he's the greatest wide receiver of all time, because right now, if he gets his hands down, he's going to be one of the greatest players to ever play this game, and if not the top 10 wide receiver of all time, if he gets, because he still has a lot of time in his career, if he gets to catch them. Now, number 2 on this list, number 3, is it number 3? Yeah, it's number 3. Now, this is where we're getting down to the negative. Julio Jones, another wide receiver. Now, Saquon Barkley is going to be number 3, and Julio Jones will be. Saquon Barkley had a rough year last year. He had some injuries, and he really didn't do as well as I thought he would do, but it's okay. I feel like he has going to have a bounce back season a little bit, get his crap together, and maybe win Offensive Player of the Year. Okay, top 2. Number 2 is Julio Jones. I think is probably one of the greatest wide receivers of all time. He can catch well. He can do everything well. I can't really say anything bad about him. And number 1 is Christian McCaffrey. He might not be the best player in the NFL, but he's the best fantasy player to draft because he can catch the ball for you, run the ball for you, and heck, he can even pass the ball for you. But the Panthers are so bad, it might be tough to get. But if I was the first pick in the draft, I would pick Christian McCaffrey. Just saying. And we're going to give some 5 honorable mentions. Davante Adams, Mike Evans. Davante Adams, Mike Evans, Travis Kelce, George Kittle, and who else could be on this honorable mention list? Ezekiel Elliott. And now for a little bit of Brown news. How is it going for the Browns? I'm going to be telling you some stuff. Number 3 on the list is that J.C. Tretter's fear me. Torn his meniscus and he might be out for the first 2 weeks, maybe a year. Number 2, Baker Mayfield says he was lost in the chaos of 2019, and I believe him. I love him, but he's still my favorite player in the world. Yep, I love Baker Mayfield. He's my quarterback, and yeah. Odell Beckham Jr., this is like a long time ago he said this, but he thinks he's going to have the best year of his career. I think Nobody's not going to have a bad year. He's going to be a Pro Bowler. He's going to lead the Browns to a 9-7 record in the 7th or 6th, 5th seed in the playoffs. And I'll see you guys either tomorrow or Tuesday. Peace.